We've talked so much about note-taking apps, but we've never actually talked about note-taking itself. And that is what this video is about. Hey guys, it's Robsy, back with Paperless X, a channel that is all about digital productivity. If you're new to our channel, hello. Make sure you subscribe and turn on your notifications so you know each time we release a new video. And if you're already subscribed, fantastic human, welcome back. We're starting a new series called Workflow Challenge, where you guys get to challenge our team with your workflows. All you have to do is tell us as much about your workflow as possible. And once you've answered the questions, you can challenge the Paperless X team to replicate, improve, or simplify your workflow. We then document our process tackling the problem. Before we get started, it's important to understand that note-taking and note-making are related but very different processes. Note-taking is the practice of collecting and recording information you hear, see, or read during lectures, meetings, seminars, or other similar activities. It captures information about a subject or topic from different sources. It is quick because you write the information as fast as you can without needing to understand or remember it. Usually, you record information in the author or speaker's words because there's no time to paraphrase the information. Note-making, on the other hand, is more intellectually taxing. It is a process of analyzing, summarizing, and organizing information that you read. Once you've taken your notes from a meeting or multiple textbooks, you then use those notes to make notes from them. At this stage, you use your own words to recreate a permanent record of concepts, topics, or subjects. You've probably heard me talk about rough notes and final study notes. This video is going to focus on ways to create rough notes, which is note-taking. The sentence method is the simplest note-taking method on this list. You take notes in full sentences to record facts, concepts, or ideas that are being presented to you. You can either number the sentences or use simple bullet points. It's better to use bullet points to avoid worrying about tracking your numbering. Each point goes on a different line and you can add headings to somewhat organize your notes. Sentence note-taking is ideal for lectures, classes, meetings that you've not prepared for. There are a few advantages of using the sentence method. It is quick to get started. It has simple organization. It captures the most information, and it requires very little concentration. However, this method does not highlight minor or major points in your notes. You usually have to rewrite these notes because capturing your notes that fast makes your notes look untidy. And these notes, because they lack any organization, can be difficult to review after a while. To get the most out of the sentence method, you can either type the notes if you type faster than you write, or record audio alongside. Audio recordings ease the pressure of trying not to miss anything. They are not, however, a replacement for actually taking the notes. When handwritten, sentence notes are usually scruffy and untidy. You must therefore rewrite them to organize the information in order to understand how the ideas come together. Rewriting notes is time-consuming. Editing text is much less painful than rewriting handwritten notes. All you have to do is add structure, remove or add some information, and correct a few errors. Sentence notes are best typed for reviewing later. If your professor hands out lecture slides in advance, use that to your advantage. Taking notes on lecture slides will dramatically decrease the amount of writing you'll need to do during lectures or classes, or even meetings. You only have to follow the speaker, add comments, or little extra information. You won't need to write everything that's being said because you have a copy of it already. The advantages of this is that it's easier to follow the speaker, and you also add very few notes, so it's less tiring. However, this method requires preparation. You have to prepare the lecture slides in advance, and we'll have a link to that video in the description down below. So this method requires you to be a bit more organized because you can't just walk into a lecture or a meeting without preparing. You also get the most out of this method if you study or learn the material beforehand. That way it is easier to know what extra information to add. PDF annotation is similar to lecture slides, except that it works with PDFs or any document that is suitable for annotations and comments. Like the lecture slides method, you add very few notes, which is awesome, and you can also add comments. The downside with this method is that you have limited space for annotation on your PDF pages. Most documents don't have a lot of space to write on, which presents a problem, especially with physical documents, but with digital ones, not so much. You can add comments to your PDF when there isn't any space for annotations. And you can also add pages between PDF pages if you ever need more space to write on. Comments are better though because they add notes to the relevant sections of your PDF. The Cornell method is the only note-taking approach on our list that factors in what happens after you've taken the notes. It's a hybrid of note-taking and note-making. Your page has 3 sections. With digital notes, you don't have to worry about dividing your page because most note-taking applications already have those templates. Or you can easily download a template online. The biggest column is where you take your notes. Due to the limited space, you have to take concise notes using abbreviations that you understand, of course. You have to skip lines between different ideas in case you need space to add more information a bit later. The concise notes mean that you can write neater because you're writing less. You will definitely save time later because you won't need to rewrite them. Trying to condense everything you're hearing requires a lot of concentration. This method is ideal when you're taking notes from information you're reading, not so much what you're hearing. The limited space on your page means your topic can be fragmented. This might not work for you if you prefer having related information on one page. The other sections of your notes are where you get to take notes, which we will cover in another video. But just bear in mind, this method is not yet finished. I rely on the sentence method the most. I use bullet points when I don't know the structure of the information. I always use our digital notebooks because I love the fact that they have a margin. It gives me room to add comments or more information later, close to the notes that they're related to. The notebooks also make it easier to group all my topics for one subject in one document. Taking notes doesn't create a beautiful final product. Though it is quick, it is untidy, and the information needs to be organized later if it is to remain useful for as long as the information is relevant. You'll probably use one pen color and there won't be time to change your pen colors with all the information that's flying at you. Sometimes your handwriting is so bad, you won't even be able to read what you wrote or understand what you're trying to say. If you have encountered that problem, try using Nebo. Nebo is a handwriting converting app that knows what you're trying to write even when you don't. What's your most used note-taking style? Do tell. Don't forget to challenge our team with your workflow. Thank you, Fantastic Human, for watching. See you in the next video.